Good morning. Good morning. We're just trying to get stuff set up here. I'm a couple of minutes early. I hope everybody can see me. For those of you that don't know me, I am so not techie. I think I've told you that before. So bear with me for a second. I'm going to see if we're getting comments. Let's see.
Is it showing up?
Yep, there we go. Now, how do I switch it though? Because I don't want it on the side, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
If it will.
Oh.
I can take it and.
Okay.
Do you want to just unplug it and pass it to me?
Sure. Just bear with us here for 1 second.
One moment, please. Oh, there we go. Gotta love technology.
I am not a technology person at all.
So
Okay.
then if you just
Plug it in.
touch the comment area and flick it up once in a while, it'll reload. Don't worry about it.
I don't have to worry about that? Okay. Oh, look at it. Yay!
And
I'm
pull
seeing
it.
people.
If you flick it up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Okay. Yay! Look at that. Thank you, Stacy, for saving me once again. Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. I see a lot of good mornings, which is just lovely. We have a beautiful morning here in Langley, BC. It is cold. It's gone from summer to very cooler fall very quick. But it's beautiful. I love the sunshine. I can bundle up. I don't mind that at all. I'd rather that than some of our rainy days, but we get what we get. Good morning. I'm sorry we're a couple of minutes late. Like I say, I'm just not the technology person at all, so I really appreciate having Stacy here today with me as well. So today, hard to believe we are doing Christmas cards when it's 6 days away from Halloween. But that's what we do in our crafty business. So we are going to make these adorable Hunkydory cards. And I have never done a Hunkydory Crafty Hour or a class. I know Diane and Courtney are like the masters of this kind of craft, but I enjoyed playing with it for sure because they are just so adorable. And the nice thing about Hunkydory, and I've heard Deanna say this before as well, that they do a lot of the work for you. So really it's just a matter of piecing things together. So we're going to make the 3 cards that you see today in front of me. I have done a couple of cards for inspiration that have all the instructions and that as well. And I'll quickly show you those at the end, and then I will post them. I always like to wait till after Courtney's Crafty Hour as well. That comes on today at 5 o'clock our time, Pacific, because I want to make sure that I haven't used anything. The nice thing about this kit, everybody had 2 sets of everything, like all the punch outs, the background sheets. Those, I think you only received one piece of each. So what I always do, and this is entirely up to you, you can do this after you've watched Courtney. I always cut my sheets in half. That way I know I'm only creating on the one half, and it leaves the other half for for Courtney as well. But you can always wait to see what the cards are, and then if you don't need a full half sheet, then you'll have extras. So it's all good to go. So I will be showing you all of that, and I do have some extra product that we had too, and I'll show you that at the end, that you can call in after the video and order if you want to get more of it, because it really is an adorable little collection. So here's your 3 cards. This one here, yes, I am going to try and master a easel card again. If some of you were with me a couple of crafty hours before, I had a little bit of a mishap with that. But anyways, okay, hold on. Why am I not live? I'm not moving. You guys are still hearing me, right?
Yeah, seems to be something. I wouldn't.
Okay.
If you look up on the top there, you can see, like on the phone up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just might not be able to see yourself.
Okay.
It goes in and out. I found that yesterday.
Because it said there's an X up here where it says live, and it's got an X across it. Okay. Oh, there we go. I'm moving again.
Yeah,
yay.
it goes
Look.
in and out.
Okay, so I'm going to go in and out. But anyways, I'll just keep creating, and you can ask questions. I am able to see your comments, so that's good. And I do try and watch them as much as I can as well. So as I was saying, we're going to start today. I'll take these other 2 cards out of the way. Those are cards 2 and 3. We're going to start with this cute little easel card. And as I said, I kind of screwed up the last one, but we did figure it out eventually. The thing I liked about this cute little easel is because of the Hunkydory paper, I was able to put the inside with one of your backgrounds and then have the cute little gnome on top as the easel. I just thought this was so cute. I love the colors in this line as well. So let's start creating with the little easel card. I'll pop it down just so you can have a better idea of the top, and I'm just going to stick it up here at the top. And then, of course, I do have all your dimensions and instructions all typed out for you as well, and I'm going to just stick this up here to refer to. Make sure I have it down far enough so you can see. There we go. Good. So that way you can always, if you're on your laptop or whatever, blow it up afterwards and you can see all the dimensions and you can recreate it from there as well. So we're going to start first of all with, and I asked you to just have some extra white cardstock, 8.5 by 11 and 12 by 12. So you can start with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. I work with the 110 Nina. I just love the weight of it. I just find that it is, it's a great weight to work with bases. But I know Basil as well, the marshmallow. I use that for my 12 by 12, but they also have it in 8.5 by 11 and it's a great weight too. So either one works perfectly for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our card base, and this is where I made the mistake last time. Instead of cutting it this way, you cut it this way. So anyhow, that's what you're going to work on here. So what you want to do is you want to start, you're going to cut a piece of your cardstock, and it's going to be, card base is 4 1/4 by 8.5. So if you cut it this way, you already have your 8.5 on the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So you're just going to cut a 4 1/4 piece. So just line it up. This is my new Spellbinders trimmer that I am loving. It really is a nice trimmer. I love the dimensions on it, with it being a white trimmer with the dark dimensions. I find it really easy to see. I know I'm kind of freezing on my screen, but you guys may not be, so I hope not anyways. So anyways, so we've got our card base. So we've started with this little piece here, and we're going to score it, as I've got here on the dimensions, score it at 4 1/4 and 6 3/8. So the nice thing about this trimmer is your scoring blade and your cutting blade stay on the trimmer, which again is something that I just love. So you're going to score it at 4 1/4, just like that. Oops, that's my cutting blade. See, I'm still not used to this guy yet. Put my cutting blade to the top. Here's my scoring blade. So 4 1/4, I'm going to score it. And I'm going to score it again at 6 3/8. So 6 3/8 is, let me open it up here. Get it lined up properly. Just stick that aside. So 6 3/8. So we've got the 6 is right here. 1, 2, and 3. So it's not quite 6 1/2. 6 1/2 would be there. So it's just 1/8 under 6 1/2. 6 3/8. Oh my goodness. I tell ya, maybe I'm just not meant to do these cards. No. Okay, so we're gonna go to 6 3/8. There we go. And we're gonna score that. So we've got our 2 score lines, and basically it's in half, and then there's a small little edge, okay? So now we're going to take another piece of cardstock, or you can use the same piece because all you've done is cut one small strip off your 8 1/2 by 11, and you're going to cut a topper piece. And the topper piece is gonna be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you're just gonna cut a square of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so you have your square. That's going to form your topper piece. So it's going to go on top of your card, which is this little piece here. Okay, that's your card base, and then your topper piece goes on top. Put this guy back over here. Okay, I also asked you to have some mirrored gold. I, of course, use my mirrored little packs because I love these. They're all kind of pre-cut. So you're going to cut a piece of the mirrored gold. This is what we're kind of using to form our topper. And you're going to cut it 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So what that means is it's going to just be under the 4 1/4. So you're going to have a little bit of a base of your white, and then you're going to have your 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So just go to 4 1/8, cut, and never throw out your scraps of gold. You can always use them. So 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So what I mean by that is when we go to attach our topper piece, see how you have your white, but you have your gold on the inside, a very small little border. So that's perfect. And then I had asked you to emboss a piece of white cardstock. This is the embossing folder I used. This is the bigger one from Spellbinders, the 3D Flurry of Snowflakes. I love this embossing folder. It just embosses so beautifully. And there is a smaller snowflake that came out. I believe we had it yesterday in our Together at 2, which is really cute too. But I like this one because, as you can see from the card, you kind of get the bigger dimensions behind your little gnome piece that we're going to put on there afterwards. So this is your piece that you had embossed ahead of time, and I asked you to cut it to 4 by 4. So it's cut to 4 by 4, and all 3 of the above pieces can be layered with foam tape. So what I mean by that is you're going to put your white embossed onto your gold with foam tape, and your gold onto your square that we cut a minute ago with foam tape. So all 3 of those, please. Again, if you would prefer, and I say this all the time, if you'd prefer your card to be flatter, then don't worry about foam tape. You can just do it flat with your glue or your tape runner or whatever you want to do. You don't have to, you don't always have to use the foam tape. I know that's contrary to what Deanna thinks, but but I do like some raised parts on my cards, and especially if I'm not mailing them. That, I guess, I know makes a bit of a decision. But you know what? I will, I'll put my cards in bubble envelopes if I have to. If it's a real special person and I want to give them something that has the foam and everything on it, I'm happy to put my cards into a bubble envelope. But a lot of the times I put them on top of a nice box of chocolates or something like that, and I don't have to worry about the mailing part. So I'm just going to put a little bit of foam tape. You would want to add more if you want to. You can always go around the edge as well. Do it 4 by 4. Just for timing, I just don't want to take too much time because I know how you all know how to attach foam tape. And I am a cutter with foam tape. I know Deanna can whip it off and run it and rip it and the whole bit. That's just not me. So if I just put one in each corner for now, but when I was actually building this, I would definitely put more on, one in the center and around the edges as well. But just for time, it makes it easier here for you. Okay, so now we're going to put that piece onto there. And that forms our little topper piece. That looks so nice with the snowflakes too. Okay, so we've done that. So now what we're gonna do, we're just keeping our card base to the side just for right now. We're going to grab our cute sheet of the gnomes. And the one that I used for the first one, we also use this for the third card, so we'll just set it aside after we're done. But we used this gnome, this cute one with the little, what is he, a little squirrel or something, and the gifts. So you can just punch out the whole piece, and they come out so easily too, which is so nice. And then we can just set this aside for now. Okay, so because this is a smaller card, obviously we weren't going to use the great big base on the outside for this card. So what I did was I punched the little gnome out of the center, and again, they come out really easily. I know sometimes Deanna has said too, you can always use your scissors if there's like a little, you know, piece or something, you can always cut it off after. So we're going to use this little guy, the gnome piece. And then we are going to use the next frame. So just carefully, because these ones are a little bit thinner. I'm just going to take the frame off of this die cut. Just like that. And then this piece we can just set aside. Okay, so we're just going to use these two pieces for this smaller card, only because I didn't want it to be obviously too big, and it's kind of cute that it kind of comes off the edge too of the topper. Okay, so you've got your die cut and you've got your frame. So we're going to take we're going to put the foam strips on the back of the die cut one, the frame itself. And I know Deanna uses these ones. These are from the scrapbook adhesives. These are great foam strips. They make it so much easier for you. And a tip I got from her when I was watching one of her Hunkydory videos is when you peel one of these off, peel the backing off as well at the same time. Okay, so then you're just left with the foam on both sides. My nails will allow me to do it. Oops, it'll help if I'm doing it on the right side. Come on. My nails are a mess right now. There we go. Okay, because if you take this off like it makes it much more pliable. And the nice thing about these foam strips is you really can kind of work with them. I kind of cut a smaller piece, and then you can kind of put it on and just kind of work it around. So when you've got a curvy area or whatever, you want to just be able to pull it around the corner, just like that. Obviously keeping it so you can't see it afterwards. And I just kind of cut it and work in the smaller bits. And you don't have to cover the entire frame, but again, the more you put on it, sometimes it'll help to build it up. So you can just play with these little foam strips. And we're just going to put them all around. It is a little bit easier when the frame is a little bit thicker as well. This is quite a thin frame, but these are a very thin foam strip, so it's great. There we go. And the other thing I liked about it is it's not too high. Like, they're quite thin, so you don't have like a massive thickness on it as well. Let me just see. I'm trying to watch comments too. I apologize. If you you take the backing off, it's easier to direct the strips. Yeah, exactly. So because if you keep the backing on, you're trying to peel it off afterwards. It is kind of hard, especially like I say, when you're working with a skinnier frame, which this one is. And if I was doing this in my time, I would probably take, well, I obviously take a little bit more time, but I would probably just cut smaller pieces. But you don't have to worry about it being on the entire frame. Just so that you have enough of a lift that you want to make sure that it's going to, you know, stay on there. Okay, so you're going to put your foam strips on the back is what I have here, and we're going to attach the frame to the topper. Now, I did do it a little bit to the right-hand side, only because I added this little decorative strip afterwards. If you'd prefer to have it either to the left or right in the center, go for it, however you'd like to have it. Also, I thought it would be kind of cute on an angle too. So however you want to do it, it's up to you. I just did it a little bit to the right so I could just add that extra little piece. And you just want to have it so it's kind of just over the bottom, just over the top. It's just tucking over. It's really not even on coming off your base. You can't even see it from this side, but you can see it. It's just going a little bit over the gold that you've got as your mat. So that, there we go. So then my next thing was to put this guy in here. Now I wanted to have it so that he was sticking up enough over the frame. If you want to have it flush, or you could even have it indented if you wanted to, like it could be flat. I just like the level that it made when it came up a little bit higher. So what I use most of the time when I'm working with my foam dots, or foam tape, you can use either or, but I love these sticky thumb foam dots. These have a nice thickness to them on their own, but because I wanted it raised up even more, I just use double. So and you don't need to have a whole ton of them. I put one at the top, and you could use the big or the small, either way, whichever one you wanted to do. But I just found if I was able to do it double, it really helped it raise up a little bit more too. But again, you could use your foam tape and just fold it over and have it on there as well. So we're going to take the backing off these guys. Out of the way. And then I just put another level. These are just a really, I really like these. I like the fact that they come in the 3 different sizes, and I just like the thickness of them. Like I say, generally on their own, but also, also when we can do it double. There we go. Okay, and then all you're going to do is take your little gnome guy and just put him, obviously, right in the middle of the frame. So just like that. And like I say, I liked the level of that it came up, you know, that much thicker. Again, if you're going to mail it and you don't want to have that thickness, then totally up to you. You can do it thinner. You could put the frame flush onto the card with your tape runner or whatever, and then have your little gnome raised up. You could do that too. Lots of options, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll add the embellishments afterwards because you don't have to necessarily have the little strip, and I'll tell you about the little snowflake after, but let's do the inside of the card right now, and we'll attach this guy when we're done. So go back to your card base that we did at the very beginning. Okay, and so we scored it at 4 1/4 and 6 3/8. So if you fold your card in half, that is going to be your little card base. And then this guy, your 6 3/8, he's just going to fold up. I think it's up. Let me double check it. Yep. Okay, look at that. I actually did it the first time. Okay, so that is how there's your little easel card right there. And the topper that we just created a second ago, when we're done with doing the inside, that's where that's going to go on top, just like that. And that's what's going to form your easel. They're so cute. I just love little easel cards. I love them for the holidays, and I love them just to be able to tuck a little gift card or whatever into them as well. So now we're going to take our card, one of the bases that you were given in your kit, this cute base here with the little little elves in the sleigh in the corner. Everybody's doing okay, I hope. Okay, so in order for us to get it the way that I had it here, I'll just tell you how I went about doing that. I'm just going to put my card base here to the side just for a moment. So I've got it written down here as well for you. If you go to recreate it, do the inside piece, grab the background piece with the gnomes and the sleigh, cut the strip on the right side of the background paper with the green strip showing on the right side and at the bottom. So this is what I mean here. It's this cute little checkered green part. So we want to use that, and we're not going to use the red on the outside. So if you just take your trimmer and go straight to the edge of that green checked paper, and we're just going to cut that. So now all you are left with is the little bit there. And we may have to take another hair off. We'll play around with it a little bit when we go to put the square in. But right now we'll just do it right on the edge of where we've cut this red strip off. Okay, so and we can set that aside because again, that can form that little piece that I showed you on the topper earlier. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are just going to turn it around, turn your little elves upside down, okay? And we want to cut it to 4x4. So this is where I'm saying to you, if you put this up to your 4-inch and you go to cut them, you may cut too much off of this elf here on the right. So if you want to go back and just take another hair off of your green strip, just as long as you keep some of the green strip on there, that's the most important. Just like that. See, I had a little bit less. You get a little bit less of this little elf here, but it doesn't really matter. You still get the effect. And then you can flip it back around and do it to the 4-inch. That way we have him just like that. See, and when I did mine, you can see that all you're taking off is just the kind of top of his hat and the top of this little guy's hat over here. And we're going to do the same thing with the green at the bottom. So we don't want to have the red strip at the bottom. So you can just take off. This one doesn't matter quite so much, except you don't want to chop off your elves. So you want to make sure. I, again, just did it straight to the line. And then you're going to cut it to 4x4. So now you're left with a 4x4 square. And you barely even cut off one of the little candy canes at the top. Good? Everybody okay? Everybody's following me okay, I hope? So I just thought this was so cute to be able to put it inside your card. So we've cut this piece to 4x4, but again, I would like to mat it. So I took another piece of my gold Miri. Wherever I have another piece here somewhere. Here we go. Actually, I have a cut piece from before. And you can cut your gold piece to 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So again, we're going to have a very tiny little border. 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, just like that. And so that just forms a tiny little border around your elf piece that's going to go in the inside of your card. And this one I did flat. So I did these two together flat and these onto my card base flat. So you can use your glue, you can use your tape runner, you can use whatever you like, whatever works the best for you. Just add some glue to it. There we go. Attach it to my gold. There we go, so flat. And then we are going to put that inside our card base. And it just fits in there perfectly. Again, it's going to have just a tiny little border around the white. Get this on here straight. There we go. And then just attach it with my glue onto my card base. And he will just tuck in the inside, and you have those adorable little elves just peeking out. Or little gnomes, I guess they are. Just peeking out. Just like that. So that's the inside of your card. And I love this glue because it is very forgiving, so you can move it around a little bit, make sure you've got it in place. And then you're going to take your topper that we did a minute ago, and he is going to be attached to this little folded piece that we did. So your card is flat, but when you go to pop them up, it becomes the easel. And again, you can use Sukwang tape, you can use glue, you can use whatever you want. Again, it's flat, no foam or anything like that. You want to just put that onto there, and we're going to attach our pre-made topper that we just made. And it has a tiny little bit of a border around the card. Just kind of, what I usually do is close it and then just work them into place. And there is your adorable little easel. And like I say, when you pop that up and you get to see the little squirrely guy down there, the little fox, it's so cute. And what you will want to do when you can do this afterwards, you don't have to worry about doing it now. But what you want to decide is exactly where you would like your easel to stop. Do you want to have more of seeing all the little elves? Then it'll be more of a straight up like that. Or do you want to have them sort of closed so you just see the two little foxes on top of each other? You can do that too. All I used was just a gem. I used one of the Spellbinders Fashion Gold gems. You could use a button, you could use whatever you like to put on there, and that's what stops the easel from moving. So it just keeps it in place, just like that. And I did it just over the other little guy. But you can, like I say, you're welcome to back it up. It would just stand up more straight, which is cute too, and just put your gem back there. You can decide where you would like to have it on there. And the only other thing I did with this card was that strip that we cut off of the, when we cut out the inside, I just cut a little strip of this. I cut it down a tiny little bit, tucked it in just to give it an just to give it a little add-on. You don't have to, you can keep it blank. And this cute little snowflake, this is a set from Hunkydory. We do still have some of them in stock, so you can always grab one as well. You can always call after the video because we do have some more in stock. And it makes 5 different ones. I'm not sure I have it right here. This was a set from Hunkydory, and it does 5 cute little snowflakes, and I just used one of the bigger one. No, I used this guy here, the third one. But you know, you probably have snowflake dies, punches, whatever. Just add that. I just thought it was something, a little add-on on there, and added the gem in the center. And this is a set from Avriel, the Let's Get Merry, and I thought it was kind of cute, tied it in too. So that's a great way of doing a cute little card. You can use this part here for your sentiment, or you could put a gift card in there, and then you could write on the back to the person that you're going to give it to. Either way, but I just, like I say, I love doing easel cards, and all of your dimensions and the scoring and everything will be on the sheet that I'll post afterwards too. I'll post the card samples and the directions. Card number 1, done. Everybody okay? I hope. I'm not seeing anything that everybody has asked. I hope not. Anyways, I hope that I hope everyone was okay with that one. And again, if you aren't, please reach out afterwards. I can always answer any questions as well. So that is card 1. So that's good. That one is our hardest one that we do. Because like I say, Hunkydory is great because it does a lot of the work for us. Okay, so let's work on card number 2. And card number 2 is this adorable green. I love this green color that they use. More of the kind of the limey green. I'm not usually one. I'm more of the traditional colors at Christmas time, but I just thought this was gorgeous, and especially with the gold as the background. So let me get my card directions here for card number 2, which is this. And this is the one that I asked you if you could have a 12 by 12 card base, because we were just going to do a bigger square. I just really wanted to use a lot of this gold, the green and gold present, and I really wanted to show up on there. So that's why I decided I'd design a bigger card for this one. So if you grab your sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock, and if you don't have one now, you can do it after, no problem at all. So if you have your 12 by 12, we are going to cut, your first strip is going to be 5 3/4. Let's just put it up to your 5 3/4. I, again, use the marshmallow only because it is such, again, a thick, nice thick cardstock, but you can use whatever you have in your stash. Okay, and then we are going to, if we score it at 5 3/4, this is kind of how I do it. You can do it the way that you'd like to, but what I do is I just score it at 5 3/4. That way I know this is going to be my square. So I'm going to score it. Make sure I have the right, yeah, yay. 5 3/4, just like that. I fold it in half. And then I just cut off that strip at 5 3/4. So we have our square card. So it's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And you could do this card either way. You can do it as a tent card like that, or you can do it opening up this way. I usually will do my cards opening up to the left, but you can do it whichever way you'd like. So there we go. There's our card base. Now we're going to grab our pattern piece, this gorgeous green, and because this was an 8.5 by, I think it was 8.5 by 11, it may have been a little bit different, but anyways, we have enough that we'll be able to do our square, no problem at all. So what I did was all we want to do for this one is we're just going to cut this to 5.5 by 5.5. And yeah, it is a little bit bigger than 11 inches. So you're just going to take 5.5 off, so half, just like that, and then do 5.5 the other way. So again, a square makes it very easy for you. And do not throw this out because it is just so pretty. You can always add it on the side of an embossing folder or whatever you want to do afterwards. There were lots of extras. I had a pouch here, and this was a lot of my extras that were left over, little frames and cuts and papers and the whole bit. So it's great. You've got lots of extras to create more as well. Okay, so we've cut our piece of green with the gold presents, and we're going to attach it to the card base with foam or flat. I'm going to add a little bit of foam to this piece. Put one in each corner for now. But again, it could be flat, however you want to do it. Okay. Direction down a little. Yes, thank you, Sharon. There we go. Yeah, now I can see it. I meant to check that before I started. Okay, so we're just going to attach that to the card base. And again, it's just going to have a very small little border around the outside. So you see the white on the outside, but this beautiful green and gold on there. Okay, so now we're going to build our topper, which is the cute little gnome guy. So we're going to grab that sheet, and that sheet is the one that looked like this. And we are using him. Look at all the other options that you have. I used this for one of my inspiration cards, but boy, you've still got lots that you can play with this one. Okay, so we can we're gonna get the little gnome guy out of here. It's just the gnome right now. So cute. The cute little bunny. And we can just set this aside just for the moment. We're gonna go back to it in a sec. Okay, and we're gonna cut a piece of white cardstock. So whichever piece of cardstock you have from your 8.5 by 11 or your 12 by 12, whatever you want to use. And we are going to cut a piece of white cardstock 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so again, it's just under 3.5. If you go 1, 2, 3, 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. 1, 2, 3. And again, it's just going to be a very small border. Now, if you have the inverted punch, the corner punch, you can use that now. If you don't, you can leave it flat, however you, or leave it square. It's entirely up to you. This is a great punch, and Diane uses it all the time because Hunkydory does so many of these that have that inverted corner. So it makes it so easy. And all you're doing is you're just going to, and it gives you the guide and everything. So it's all it is a matter of putting it in. Just make sure you're right flush on the corner. And just like that, you can do all 4 corners. And again, if you don't have one, you can definitely get one. And if not, you can always just keep it square, however you want to do it. So that's how that forms. Again, just a small little, border around the outside. If you're interested in any of the products too, just give us a shout afterwards after the video, because it'll make it easier. We don't necessarily go back and do recall or whatever on my video as well. Okay, so we've done that. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to set that aside, and we are going to do another piece of our gold foil, and we are going to cut this one to 3.5 by 3.5. So again, just a tiny bit bigger. 3.5 by 3.5, just like that. And again, you can punch it or you can leave it square. I punched it, but you may want to have a little bit more gold showing. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to take I'm going to empty it first, make sure, get those white pieces out of there. And now you can just punch your mirror. And even the mirrored gold just goes through this punch just beautifully. There we go. Okay, and you can either use foam tape for all 3 of these pieces, or you can do it flat, whichever you'd prefer. For time saving wise, I'm going to do it flat today, but I did do it with foam on my sample card. So entirely up to you. If you'd prefer to have it built up, you can definitely build it up. So cute. And like I say, we do have some extras. We don't have any more of the Crafty Hour. It's sold out with the Gnome guys, but we do have some of the background sheets and that too that I'll show you when we're done. Whoops, put foam glue on here. And like I say, that's just for time, but you can use your foam, your pop dots, you can use whatever you like. Just so, I really love that corner punch. And it's funny, because I don't work with the Hunkydory quite so much, and then I already had one, which is even nicer. Okay, so there's our 3 pieces that I did here on the card. So cute. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab another piece of white cardstock, and we are going to cut the white cardstock 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. So again, 1, 2, 3, so just under 4.5. 3/8. Frida, I am using the 450, the quick dry adhesive. This is like the best, the Helmar glue. It is the best glue. We have it in this size bottle, and we do have a bigger size bottle now as well. And it is just the absolute best. I just love that glue because it is giving, forgiving. You can move it around. We were out of it forever, and it's just so nice to have it back in stock. Okay, so we've cut the piece of white cardstock, 4 3/8 by 4 3/8, and we are going to attach our frame to that. Am I going to do that now? No, sorry, no, we're not attaching this. Don't. Let's go back to our die cut sheet. So this sheet that we just punched our little gnome out of it, we're not going to use this heart one for this card. So keep it to the side because you'll definitely be able to use it because there's so many of the other die cuts and stuff that you can use. So just stick that guy to the side, but we are going to use this green foam frame piece. Okay. And then I attached this to the white piece that we just cut a minute ago. And I did attach this one with foam tape. So again, you can use foam, you can use your foam strips. Foam strips would be very quick and easy because they're already cut for you. Peel it off. I'll just do one top and bottom, I think, for now, just to give you the idea, because I want to get to that last card and give you some more information. I know we were a little bit late starting too, so we will be going a little bit over today as well. Okay, so you're going to take this frame and we are just going to attach it to that white piece that we cut a second ago. Just like that. And of course I would put the foam all the way around it. So pretty, I love this green. Okay, and then we have our gnome that we cut. And this guy I am going to put in with foam tape as well. And if I use my sticky thumb ones, they should be raised up a little bit more than the strips that I just used. So it's going to give me the dimension that I'd like to have it a little bit thicker. So we're just going to stick that into the center of the topper piece. And I love this because when you put this on with the corners, you're seeing these on the outside. And I was thinking, like, you could even add tiny little gold gems or something in there as well if you wanted to, or you know, like a glitter glue or something too. That would work as well. So there's our topper that we've built. Here's our base that we've already done. And all we're going to do is attach this to the card base. And I attached it flat only because I felt like I had enough dimension with the frame piece and with the topper itself. So I just attached it flat to my background. So I would just use my glue. Just like that. And then we're just going to attach it to the background. Oh, sorry, Sandy. Yes, there we go. There's never enough room on these tables, I tell you. You should see me at home. It's like spread out all over the place. So there you go. So you've got your, so all I've done is just attach that with glue. And now you're just going to add whichever sentiment you wanted to. Again, you could use the same set that we used for the first card. That is the one from Avriel. They have all kinds of cute little, the Let's Get Merry is the one we use, but 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, or Holly Jolly Christmas, or No Peeking, or anything you could use. This is a cute little stamp set. But you can use any of your sentiments that you have in your stash that you could just add. And all I did was I just matted it in some gold and just had it off to the side. It could go down at the bottom, it could go on the top, whichever you decide would be great. But that's a really fun way of adding. I just love the gold. I just think that's so pretty, and I really like this green on it as well. And then the only other thing I did to embellish, again, I used the Fashion Gold gems from Spellbinders. I did have a package here. Here we go. Because I like these. You know, I use these all the time because they have all the different sizes. So the teeny tiny little guys, I was able to just stick off to the side and put one on the top of his little lantern down there as well. It just finishes it, just gives it a little bit more of an embellishment. And especially with the gold. I just thought it was so, so pretty. Yeah, so there you go. So you've got that. There's your second card. Card number 2 is done. Everybody's okay? I don't print the instructions. All I do is I just post my pictures afterwards, and I do post the instructions on the Crafty Hour site. So you can blow it up and print them, or whichever you'd like to do. I just think it makes it a little bit easier so you have them afterwards as well, because it's easy to hear me say things, but when you go to put them together, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily do it right now, so they can at least have that as a backup afterwards. Card number 2, done. I hope you like that one. That is very, very, I just love, like I say, love, love, love the colors. So let's do card 3. Again, this is really quite simple, but it's just the colors, I think, more than anything else. It just makes it so nice. So we are going to start where we got here, my instructions. Let me make sure I have them down far enough. My computer keeps freezing the picture part of it, so bear with me. I think I have that down far enough, but you can let me know for sure if it's not. I'll move it as soon as I get a live shot again. Okay, so now we are going to do this card here, and I used an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So what I did was, my 11 is already, so what I did was I just cut it to 6 3/4 wide. So I took my 6 3/4 on the 8.5 by 11 side. So cut it at 6 3/4. Your 11 is already 11. So all we have to do now is score it at 5.5. So a little bit bigger card, not quite 5 by 7, but I just thought it's a nicer card, especially when we're going to do this larger frame. Nice to have a bigger card. Okay, so we're going to, again, we are going to score it at 5.5. So find your 5.5 and just score it in half. There we go. Okay, so now we are going to grab the paper that is your background. We are not going to use this adorable little girl. So again, this can form a card or a nice tag or whatever. All I'm going to use is this green piece that's over here on the left-hand side. So what we want to do is grab the green striped paper, which is this, with the red heart border, just so I wanted to make sure you knew if you go to create it afterwards. And we're going to cut it 4 3/4 wide. So you just want to do the 4 3/4 on this side. And again, it just shows how much you're going to have left over to be able to play with afterwards. So 4 3/4, we're going to cut that. Whoops, that's my scoring. And this can just be set aside. Again, it's extra. You're going to be able to play with that afterwards. And then you're going to cut the top and the bottom border off. So we're not going to use this stripe, the heart stripe on either end. I would again keep it. You'll be able to add it to a card. So what we want to have is we're going to cut that border off. If you cut it off on the one side, just put it to the side. We want to have a 5 7/8 piece. So just under 6. So if you go to 5 7/8, you should be right at that border to be able to cut it off. So all we're left with is our green piece. That's all we want. And these, like I say, keep them. They'll be a great addition to a different card. So they should now be 5 7/8 long. Okay. Now we're going to cut a piece of white cardstock. Again, just have a piece of white cardstock handy. And we are going to cut it 4 7/8 by 6. So if you go 4 7/8, again, just under the 5. And by 6. We're just right now forming our background. And that is going to be just slightly bigger than the green to give it a little bit of a border. Okay, so we can just stick that aside for a second. And then you are going to grab your sheets. You had a bunch of plain, it's like a glossy, but it is so thick. It's such a nice weight cardstock. I wanted to play around and try embossing this too, because I think it would be beautifully to emboss. Again, what I did was I cut my piece in half at 5 1/2. So now I know Courtney, if she works with this green piece, you'll have enough to be able to do hers later on, her live later on. So we're going to take this darker green pearl cardstock, is what I called it on here, and we're going to cut it to 5 1/8 by 6 1/4. So just slightly over 5 inches. Again, I wouldn't throw this out. I would use it somewhere along the line. And then go to 6 1/4. Okay, so that's what you're left with. And that is going to form that base. So we have the 3. So you can attach these together with glue or foam tape, whatever you'd like to do. I'm going to use glue again for time, but you can definitely use foam tape or use a variety. What I quite often do is I would stick this onto my white with glue, and then I would put these 2 pieces onto my green with foam tape. But for timing, I'm just going to glue it. It makes it a little bit quicker. You can decide either way. Just like that. So pretty. And I only attach this to my card base flat, because again, I felt I had the dimension in my gnome and in my frame, so I didn't need to have the dimension with my background on my card, but totally up to you. I think I did this in a later step, but we can do it now as well, whichever you want to do. Just love the green. And this paper, the quality of it is just crazy. It's so good. Hunkydory never does anything halfway, that's for sure. That's our background for card number 3. Okay, so now what we're doing is we are going back to our first punch out sheet that we worked with. So that was the one that we used for our easel card, the one that was up here. Now we're going to work with this guy down here. Okay, so if you want to just punch out the whole thing, again, they come out so nice and easy. Okay, so this has 3 layers. It has the big frame, which we are going to use for this card. I know, Sandy, isn't it great? I love Hunkydory. And they just keep getting better and better, I swear. So that is going to be our background frame. And then they have this gold frame here. Now, I did not use this gold frame. You are welcome to, but I wanted to see the green through my my die cut. I wanted to have my frame, then the green, and then the little gnome guy. So if you want to use all 3, go right ahead. Again, Crafty Hour is yours, but you can put that aside and use it for one of your other gnomes or whatever else you wanted to use it for. It wouldn't even have to be with this kit. So all I did with this one is I attached this frame onto here with foam tape, and I attached the gnome in the center with foam tape. And I did the same as kind of what we did for our first card. Where did I put it? Yeah. Our easel card, in the fact that you could have this even just flat onto your card or with foam, and then build up your gnome. So do him a little bit thicker or have them all at the same level, whatever you prefer. I just think it's so, so cute. Love, love, love the colors in this line. So that is going to be that on there. And then the With Love at Christmas is from your second sheet that we just used a minute ago with these adorable, we used this big square up here. Here's the With Love at Christmas. And the thing that's nice about this is it's already got your gold around it. You don't need to mat it. You don't need to do anything. It's good to go. And all I did was I just stuck it down here at the bottom. And again, play with it. If you want to have it flat, leave it flat. If you want to have foam tape, great. Either way. So cute. I added my gems to the card, of course. Those, again, those little fashion gold gems. So pretty. And the other thing, and I put one on the end of his little toque here too, which I thought was, oh, it's actually a little snowflake. It almost looks like it's part of his toque. And the only other thing I did for this card is I added, Hero Arts makes these, they used to be, back in the day, they had other ones too that were pearly, little white glue. You could use glitter glue, you could use anything, but I thought this was really pretty. And all I did was use this. This is Hero Arts. They do one, it's called Hero Pearls, and it's white. We do have some of these in stock. It's got a tiny little bottle. One thing I would suggest is, and I try and do this as much as possible, shake it to the top first so you don't get an air bubble and it kind of goes splat all over. You want to have it so that you can be really directed onto the dots. It just adds a tiny little bit of dimension to it. And if I did this one, and it really didn't take too long to dry, I think it also had something to do with the paper. But if it's not raised up enough, once it dries, go over it again, and you'll just get that much more of a dimension. But I thought it was just a nice little way of adding something else, and it was just kind of pearly. I didn't want to take away, I didn't want to have glitter because we had sort of the glitter kind of look for the gnome. But you could use glitter glue, you could use these guys. There's all kinds of things out on the market, or just gems. You could put a couple of little clear gems or something on there too. So that would be card number 3. So I just didn't build it, but I know you guys will be able to figure that out. We do have some of these in stock, the Hero Arts. So again, you can call. I'll show you the cards that I have here. These are the 2 cards that I made. And they, again, have the full instructions. I will post them in the next day or so probably. I used that same snowflake. I used my background snowflake. Oh, actually, you know what? I did. I embossed on the white pearly cardstock that you had. You have the half piece again. And so I used that and embossed, and boy, it just turned out beautiful. And this blue that's on the outside was the piece that we cut off this sheet. So I had it to be able to form my mat and to form the mat around the little girl. But again, you'll get dimensions and stuff on how to do that. They're all ready to go. The other card that I did is this guy. And I use this beautiful red and gold that you also have in your kit as the background. And there's your little gnome. He's just built up with the frame. Again, I used the inverted corner punch. And I just got some little, probably dollar store pom-poms and added a tiny little pom-pom to the end of his hat. And I thought, again, that's just a little bit of a dimension to it. Just something different, right? And you could use those perfect pearls that I showed you too, just to add some dimension to him as well. So those are the inspiration cards that I will post, like I say, after Courtney does her thing today. The extras that we do have in stock at the store, and you're welcome to call. We have another package of this. This is all this beautiful cardstock that you have. It does not have the gnomes in it. It's just the background pieces. It's 16 sheets, edge to edge, and it's $17.99, and we will do 10% off. So you can call and do that. This one we did not even use in class. These are those luxury card inserts that you see Deanna use all the time, that can go on the inside of your card, or you can also do them for, you can cut these out and use them just as cards too. Add them to cardstock, mat them, do all kinds of things. We have a bunch of packs of those. Those are $17.99, and again, 10%. And this, I didn't even see this until yesterday, and I was like, what is that? This is a luxury foiled acetate, and it has 16 sheets in it. I can only imagine taking a card base and having these gold, like look at the little gifts, and like the all over print with the snowflake. Look at that, is just gorgeous. Look at the gold snowflake to be able to put it onto a card. So we have these in stock as well. Again, 10% off. They are $20.99, and you can give us a call, and we'd be happy to have those for you too. So I have those good to go. And then just a couple of announcements. So Courtney's, oh, you don't need to see my notes. Courtney's live today for her Gnomes for Christmas is 5 o'clock today. So look forward to that. She always has some awesome ideas, so I always look forward to it. Please make sure that you join the Crafty Hour Creations. You just sign up for it. There's like a question, and then they will let you into the group. It's a great way of getting your homework ahead of time. It's a great way of people sharing their ideas and things that they do with their product. So make sure you do that. Crafty Hour Creations. Just go to our website and you'll see our Facebook page, and you'll see it on there too. So make sure you do that. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, there will be the reveal for the new Crafty Hour 29, which is coming up at the end of November. That one will be revealed tomorrow with Deanna at 9 o'clock Pacific. And lucky you all, you get a break from me now. I won't be doing a Crafty Hour in November. Deanna is going to do the next two in November. So I will be back in December to do a Crafty Hour, and believe it or not, it won't be Christmas. We're going to look forward to the new year in the springtime, and we'll be doing a Crafty Hour then. So anyways, I know I did a few minutes over, but we were a few minutes getting started as well. I want to thank you all. I get so many positive comments and things, and I really do appreciate it. And if you ever have questions or that, if you're a member of Crafty Hour Creations, I always see them there, or just on our Facebook page too. And I can always answer anything if you have any questions about the cards or anything. So that is it. I won't drone on anymore. I hope you have a lovely day, and please stay tuned for Courtney this afternoon at 5 o'clock, because like I say, she always does amazing things. So I look forward to talking to you. If not before, or I don't see you in the store, I will be back around the middle of December to do another one with you. Okay, thanks so much. Have a great day.